So the Arthur Rank Hospice is the only adult hospice in Cambridgeshire. We care for people over the age of 18 with specialist palliative care issues who come into the hospice for inpatient care. And then we have a range of other services for families and carers and people living with life-limiting conditions. When we were looking for architects for the new hospice, I was quite clear that really we wanted a firm of architects that had got a very collaborative approach and that would work with us. We wanted to make sure that the opinions of our staff, our patients, their families were taken into account. And when we met LSI at interview, I just knew that they were going to be the right people for us, particularly with Louise, because she was so consultative, so interested in what we wanted.
We were asked to design a 24-bed hospice that would include 2 4-bed wards and 16 single rooms. So it was about creating a mix of spaces within an inpatient unit. Connected to that is day therapy services, an education centre and also a bistro cafe space. A key driver of designing the hospice was to ensure that it was non-clinical. We didn't want it to look like a hospital, but we needed to meet all the requirements and the infection control of a hospital. It was important that we made it calm and relaxing. The inpatient unit is designed so that there's a north wing and a south wing, so half the bedrooms are one side and half are the other. We worked with the clinical teams, volunteers and patients to take on board everybody's view of how the space would work. It was also key to ensure that we created a homely environment. So part of doing this was to ensure that we added in a wallpaper feature wall, and artwork has been added to that so that it creates a more homely environment. It was also important that we had the direct link to the outside, so patients had an option on whether they were indoors or outdoors. The gardens were key to the design from the outset and were considered as important as the internal spaces.
I think all our patients that have been in the hospice, either as inpatients or people coming in for day therapy or for outpatient treatments, have really loved the new hospice. The staff have loved it, and I think that that's very much because they were involved all the way through. The planting all looks beautiful, and you look across to the hospice, and it's I think it's really uplifting. Certainly, I think it's joyous.